At number 3, school that does not use a portal at all, really, is Clemson, though, who still has a great receiving core going into next year. Because of those 3 guys right there, Bryant Wesco Jr., TJ Moore, and Antonio Williams, you'll be hard-pressed to find a better starting 3 receivers than those 3 right there. Bryant Wesco Jr., my number 7 returning receiver in the country after a great true freshman year, 707 receiving yards as a true freshman. The only 2 true freshmen had more, Jeremiah Smith and Ryan Williams, right? So Bryant Wesco, great player last year. He also wasn't the only great true freshman for Clemson in that receiving core last year, because TJ Moore was a 5-star recruit coming out of high school, and he lived up to it immediately. He was 4th among all true freshmen with 650 receiving yards last year. So the only 2 true freshmen, Dalton, who had more receiving yards than Clemson's duo of true freshmen were Jeremiah Smith and Ryan Williams. And then also behind those 2 might be a first-round pick in the 2026 NFL Draft in Antonio Williams, who's back for another year. He was tied for 3rd among all Power 4 receivers last year with 11 receiving touchdowns. So Antonio Williams might be a first-round pick in 2026, and the 2 guys that could be first-round picks in 2027 in Bryant Wesco Jr. and TJ Moore. Clemson, was known as wide receiver U like a decade ago for having Sammy Watkins and DeAndre Hopkins and all those guys coming out of Clemson. T. Higgins, obviously, too. And then it's been kind of a few years where they weren't as good a receiver and kind of held them back, but now they're back to having some elite receivers.
Yeah, those 3 guys with Cade Klubnik throwing to him. If it feels like we talk about Clemson every episode, well, we got reason to. They got a boatload of talent, and that involves these 3 receivers as well. I'm telling you, that you're right. It's as good a trio as you could have. And Antonio Williams being the veteran to me as their leading receiver last year just feels like he makes every clutch catch that they need him to, right? Just every big third down feels like, oh, Antonio Williams is right at the sticks, and he's getting that first down that they need or the touchdown that they need. But no, I mean, Klubnik's your number 1 quarterback in the country. This is your number 3 receiving unit in the country. It's going to be a high-flying offense, no question. You mentioned with 2 true sophomores coming up that both have maybe possibly first-round talent eventually, along with those other 2 great players you mentioned. Yeah. Clemson's loaded. They're loaded defensively, offensively, everywhere, and the receiving core is no different.
Like I said, we could look back at this receiving core in 2 years and say they had 3 first-round receivers in that receiving core. That's just how good that receiving core is. So I think Clemson deserved number 3 on this list. Hey, thanks for watching another episode of the PFF College Football Show. Please make sure you guys subscribe to the channel.
Also, subscribe to PFF Plus at subscribe.pff.com for all of the same data and grades that we use in our show, plus fantasy tools, betting tools, and our mock draft simulator.